welcome to my first trailer reaction this month, and my second overall. Not much really that interesting came out last month other than New Mutants. There were a few Black Widow spots, but it's like, I feel it had been kind of done a lot by a lot of people who did it better than I would have. So, but last night at the Super Bowl, I completely forgot. They drop all the trailers at the Super Bowl, or a good few. We got a trailer for the Disney Plus Marvel Cinematic Universe TV shows. So there are 3 series coming out. You have Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki. So I'm just going to warn everyone now before I get started. This video will contain spoilers for Endgame. I don't think I'm going to need to go past Endgame, but it will include spoilers for the cinematic universe up to and including Endgame. So if you haven't seen it, basically if you're my sister, don't watch this. Spoilers everywhere. Nah. So, saying that, I mean, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to have big spoilers anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to get this started. I'm going to watch for it first. I'll take a break and make some notes, and then I'll come back to you guys. Because that was the other thing I learned when I did the New Mutants, was I felt that it was a little bit kind of all over the place afterwards. I was quite excited, so fair play. I mean, that's what a trailer should be making you. It should be making you excited. So, yeah, let's get this rolling and see what we see.
It's time.
Wanda, welcome home.
Vision residents.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Okay, there's... For a 30-second trailer, there's a lot to unpack there. There are 2 things, I think, that stood out to me. But as I said, I'll make those notes, I'll come back, and we'll do a full breakdown of the trailer. Okay, and I'm back. So, I made some notes. I'm just going to break down the trailer point by point. It's only 30 seconds, so it's a lot easier to do for this one. So, we open up the trailer, and we've got Falcon training with Cap Shield. Obviously, anyone who saw Endgame remembers that, and I'm going to say now, the alternative Cap, because that can't be our Steve Rogers. And the reason I say that is because of the rules of time travel in Endgame, any change made creates a divergent timeline. So for Cap to have gone back in time and stayed with Peggy, he has to be from a different timeline if he has ended up in the MCU's present, if that makes sense. So that technically makes them a divergent timeline. So our Cap is probably still doing things across the multiverse. It's a way to get him back in later if they want Chris Evans as the younger Steve Rogers we all know and love. So anyway, getting off of that, so he's training with Cap Shield. I'm guessing he's having mixed results. Obviously, Cap could throw it and it would kind of bounce off different surfaces and come back. Falcon's got it stuck in a tree. Perhaps not the best surface to be practicing with, but better than the side of your house. So the next clip is some paratroopers wearing green and yellow. So, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm thinking Hydra, because that is classic comic book Hydra colours. One of them turns around to shoot something behind them, whether that's Falcon swooping in, or maybe one of them is actually Bucky in disguise, you don't know. Or maybe even US Agent's introduction, if he's infiltrated Hydra on a mission, maybe that's why he'll become the US Agent, but we'll get more into him later. So we've got Bucky confronting Zemo, who you'll remember from Civil War. He then just drops a load of bullets in front of him, so I'm assuming there's an element of, I'm not going to kill you because I'm better than that now. Because obviously a lot of Bucky's arc has been going from the good friend to the enemy to kind of his redemption. So I'm assuming he's going to follow in Steve's image and be like, I won't kill you because Steve wouldn't have done it. After that, we skip to the WandaVision clips, and boy, there's a lot to unpack there, considering that a lot of it is in a couple of frames, which hopefully I'll be able to show slowly as we talk. So we've got WandaVision in black and white. Now, they've said in interviews that the series will look... Well, they've said it will look like a 1950s sitcom. The clips they've shown would imply, actually, it's going to look like sitcoms from almost every decade. It's going to look a lot more like classical sitcoms, so... Because we see what looks like the 70s, the 80s, maybe even the 90s, depending on how you look at it. But the quick montage that they show that shows off Wanda or Scarlet Witch in those different styles reveals something very fun for the fans in she's wearing the comic accurate Scarlet Witch costume, the classic one. So she's got a little headpiece, she's got the red outfit. It's great. It must be for a costume party in the series, but it's little nods like that please the fans. So we've got that. There's a clip of Wanda and Vision in what looks like Wanda's in a wedding dress, which implies a marriage. I'm getting very distinct kind of pre-House of M vibes from this, because there were some very similar events that led up to House of M. And then we've got, and this is something I'm interested in, we've got a shot of Wanda, normal, in colour, current day outfit, in the black and white setting. So I think what we'll see is she knows what's happening, like subconsciously, but there's going to be a part of it that doesn't want to leave it. And I think you're going to have her warring with herself through the whole thing. There's going to be the desire to stay, to be with the one you love, but also to recognise that they're gone and let them go. And I think she's going to be warring that through the whole series. And obviously it's her powers that are causing the manifestations around her, much like in the comics. So, next clip jumps back to Falcon and Winter Soldier, and we have the US agent, what looks like arriving at something very similar to the Superbowl, which is ironic considering the trailer's debut. So, yeah, it's our first shot of Wyatt Russell as I say US agent, I don't know whether they'll call him that at first, because obviously the outfit is meant to be very evocative of Captain America. So I get the feeling he will be called Captain America for the majority of the series and will become US agent by the end. That, or he will be called US agent and obviously they'll just be playing on the Captain America image for public recognition. But this is an interesting connection with Wyatt Russell being in it, because he has... I won't say he's got a connection to the MCU, but he has a connection to an MCU actor and I'm going to apologise if I get this wrong now, but he starred alongside Ian DeCastica in Overlord, which was a great horror film. I really enjoyed it. My only problem watching it is because I'm an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, I'm watching it and thinking, please don't kill Fitz! Please don't kill Fitz! And I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but yeah, I thought it was a good film. But yeah, so he's been in Overlord with Fitz from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So there's a funny connection there. And his dad is Kurt Russell, and who played Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So he has two connections to the MCU already. One obviously a bit stronger than the other. But I'll show an image of the front of Wyatt Russell's Captain America outfit, which leaked a little while ago. So again, spoilers this time for Falcon and Winter Soldier. If you don't want to see the front of his suit, even though you just saw the rear of it, that's fine. But if you do, we'll put a picture somewhere up here. That will show him in the suit. So I'll give a countdown. 3, 2, 1. And while that's there, so he runs up. So obviously that's going to be his big introduction as this new Captain America villain. Whether they announce him as Captain America or US Agent, no idea. They don't give you enough information. After that, we jump back to another WandaVision clip, and this is why I'm getting that real kind of pre-House of M vibe, because you got the twins. Now, if you're a comic book fan and you know what led up to the House of M, this is a big deal. And it's also a big deal to Young Avengers fans. Now, I might be getting my history wrong here, but I'm pretty sure the twins are Wiccan and Speed, or they get reincarnated as Wiccan and Speed. I will say it's complicated, and that is saying something. But in the comics, the twins, I believe, are Wiccan and Speed, which are two prominent members of the original lineup for the Young Avengers. Now, in the comics, in the build-up to House of M, I'm trying to remember if it was Avengers Disassembled, but things broke down horribly, and Vision died. Oh, I wonder where we've seen that before. And Wanda basically created her own little... I'm trying to remember if she created a pocket reality, or... Actually, this might have been before Avengers Disassembled, because I think it was her powers that caused Avengers Disassembled. But yeah, she had a mental breakdown. She created this, like, alternate reality where she was married to Vision. They had twins. A lot like what we're seeing here. I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange got involved, which, considering this is meant to be a lead-in to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, although considering we don't have mutants yet in the MCU, I'll be interested to see how they're going to play this off, because you can't redo the House of M without mutants. I suppose you could do a House of Inhumans, but why would you do that? It would just be bizarre. Marvel's tried very hard to use the Inhumans rather than mutants for the last few years. Now they've got the rights to mutants back, it makes more sense to use them. But anyway, so we have the twins, Wiccan and Speed. And then we go to the next clip, which is our first and only clip of Loki. Now, again, Endgame spoilers. This is the Loki from... Technically, he's the start of an alternative timeline. So when Iron Man and Ant-Man are trying to get the Tesseract for the Infinity Stone from that point in time, it all goes wrong because of the original timeline Hulk, and basically Loki gets away with it, which creates a divergent timeline, something that I don't really think they can fix. Because I always confused me about them going back in time and sending Steve. It's like, oh, take all the stones back, put them where we got them. You can't get that one back. So I'm curious to see how this works out. But anyway, so Loki escapes with the Tesseract. Now, what we see him in some kind of jumpsuit. Now, so I did some research, and the jumpsuit has TVA on it, which stands for or should stand, if it's like the comics, for the Time Variance Authority. And I'm just going to quote the Wikipedia article because I have not heard of them before today. I'm a comic fan, but I only read so many things. Yeah, so the Time Variance Authority claims responsibility for monitoring the multiverse and can prune timelines if they're deemed too dangerous to exist. So I reckon what's happened is Loki will run amok with the Tesseract, and they'll basically step in and say, right, you've broken everything. They're going to pluck him out, and I kind of reckon his series is actually going to be like a Prison Break, him trying to get away from the Time Variance Authority, which could be quite a unique story, especially with Loki being Loki. So, we have that. And then last thing, really, is we have Falcon and Winter Soldier kind of clasping hands, considering their tenuous friendship in Civil War. They didn't really get on. I get the feeling that after the events of Endgame, they're kind of the best of friends now, which is nice. So my predictions for the shows. So I reckon the government is going to confiscate the alternative Cap shield from Falcon, because they won't know that Captain America handed it over to him, because as far as I'm aware, they think he's dead. I think that comes up in Spider-Man Far From Home. So, or at least that's what they're telling the public. So I reckon they'll confiscate the shield because they don't realise it's been given to Falcon. And the series will be his arc trying to prove he can be Captain America. And you'll have, obviously, Zemo's going to be causing issues. Falcon and Bucky will be hunting Zemo. I reckon US Agent will as well. But they will probably clash at time to time, or US Agent will be manipulated into fighting Falcon and Bucky. And if that's the case, I reckon the series will end with probably a big fight between Falcon and US Agent. And it will end with Falcon getting the shield, doing the perfect cap throw, and just taking US Agent out with it. It'll just keel over and just be like, no, done. So, WandaVision. I reckon we're going to start in that kind of black and white 1950s sitcom vibe. And, as I said earlier, I think she's going to be subconsciously aware and fighting it. And this is speculation on my part, but I kind of hope that the jumps between sitcom eras and styles is triggered by them trying to get away from something. Maybe something in the dimension she's in, if she slipped into another dimension. Because something pursuing them through the different realities would give a sense of threat to the series as they kind of slowly catch up with modern day. Because obviously there's a lot we don't know. It was a 30-second trailer. I have to say, another thing, and this is my own kind of wish list for this, but I kind of hope Ultron appears as like a father-in-law figure, because I just think that'd be hilarious. You've just got him come in and it's like, hi! It's like, how is everyone? And you've got Scarlet Witch just like, that's Ultron! And it's like, I'm reformed. I'm an Ultron fan. I love robots, actually. I just love all robots. Robots are cool. So yeah, I'd love to see Ultron again. I think Age of Ultron, I wasn't disappointed, but I always felt they could do more with Ultron. So hopefully that pays off later. Loki, I reckon, will just be anarchy incarnate. There's so little to go on that everything I will say will be speculation. But as I said, I think it'll be that kind of Prison Break kind of series. I reckon he's going to get caught by the Time Variance Authority, locked up in some kind of temporal prison outside of time or something, and then he will be doing his big escape plan to try and get back to things. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, I hope I haven't gone on too long. But yeah. I'm pretty excited about that. It's such a short clip, but it makes you want more. And I feel terrible. So I already said the other day, I gave in and got Amazon Prime to watch Picard. And it's like, I was already going to get Disney Plus anyway for The Mandalorian, but you know, I'm going to need to keep hold of it now for when these shows come out. I think out of the three, which one am I most excited for? I am a big Captain America fan. Not gonna lie. But considering what happened to Vision in Infinity War and how I felt about it, because I was really disappointed they didn't bring him back in Endgame. And it makes so much sense, but at the same time, as I said, it was disappointing. It's like, I loved Paul Bettany's portrayal of Vision, and I really want to see more of him. So I think my pick out of the three that I'm most excited for is WandaVision. I'm going to probably upset some people now and say my second one I'm most excited for is Falcon and Winter Soldier, which puts Loki last, but this is like being last place on a list of amazing things. This is 100%, looking forward to it. 99, it's 1% lower, and then maybe 98. It's if I could only watch one of those in the next couple of months, it would be in that order. If I could only watch one every few months. However, I think I've got the order either backwards, because I'm pretty sure, or maybe slightly askew, because I think it comes out Winter Soldier, Loki, and then WandaVision comes out, I think, kind of next year, before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, if WandaVision pays off and Multiverse of Madness is good, it's gonna be so exciting, especially if they take a cue from half the comics I've got back here, with like the Avengers Disassembled and House of M. The list goes on. But yeah, okay, I'll stop rambling about this now. You're probably bored. And just remember, guys, I love you 3000.